Hey everybody, this is Bunny and Bumblebee Talks. I'm Bumblebee.
And I'm Bunny, and you kind of stuttered a little bit.
I did a little bit. I fucked up the intro, but it's alright.
Wait, you moved the mouse thing.
It's all good.
You got new pillows this weekend? Nice.
I'm just saying for when we want to
I
stop
sleep with 5
recording,
pillows.
you have it on the wrong thing.
You know, it's because it slid down, but it'll be alright.
No, but don't you usually want it on there so when we're done, we can just stop right then and there? Idiot. All right. So first topic is taking it up the butt gay.
I've been very adamant about this. She's kind of changed my perspective on it. I said it is gay originally.
Why did you say you're very adamant about it?
Because I was very remember every time you brought it up, you said, "Oh, I already know what your answer is gonna be."
And then
yeah.
I moved. Literally, I can't sleep without that pillow.
But you know, I guess from perspective, you know,
Then
sitting is technically not gay. I guess if your girl's the one doing it to you, but like, it's not for everybody. That's what it is. That's
because my argument was it's like it could still be classified as gay, right? From outside looking in.
Mm-hmm.
But
like I sleep on my right side.
For me,
it
would be
bed.
viewed as less gay if it's like something you're doing with your girl in private.
So with my pillow there and then two
you're
pillows
not
beside
like
me,
out publicizing it because at the end of the day, I believe like whatever you choose to do in the bedroom with somebody is your business. That doesn't necessarily mean it has to be for everybody.
Yeah.
That was my argument with it because I feel like, you know, once you go the route of like actually like taking an actual dig up the butt is way different.
Mm-hmm.
Because that means you would have to get a dude to do it, and then you would have to actually be like interested in whatever you're doing with the dude for that to even happen. So that's a little bit of a different situation.
Yeah.
God, he's weak. The guy in the bitch weak.
I mean, all in all, you know, people are gonna, regardless, you know, from the outside looking in.
Do they know not to come down here?
One leg cocked up. What does that even mean?
Oh?
Cocked up.
I'm the cocked up? What?
What does that mean?
Stick to one?
We never put a sign up, did we?
No, we didn't. Regardless of the fact, like people are gonna
view it as gay no matter how you paint it. I just meant like in the aspect of whatever you choose to do, you know, that's your business. Because there's things that I'm pretty sure people do in the bedroom that you might look at them and be like, well, what the fuck? And then there are some things that, like, when I heard it,
to say it?
I wasn't, like, judging them, but I'm like, yeah, people don't normally do this.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is not an everyday thing, you know what I mean? Like, this is just off the wall.
Yeah.
Because there's some things that are just like completely off the wall that you like never would have thought people would have taken it to that level. And it kind of goes from something as simple as you doing something like that with your girl to
your cutie patooties.
it's something that
big old booties.
if you tell somebody, they're gonna be like, what?
See?
Like, how did you think of this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, where did your head go where you thought this was fun? Where it kind of makes you question some people's outlook on the whole sex thing, because it's one thing if you do something because
feels
you know your partner's gonna enjoy it and they're gonna have fun doing it and they're gonna have a good time doing it or whatever the case is, to doing something that when you like think about it as a whole, it doesn't sound very pleasurable.
That's true.
Exactly.
Is that actually?
I'm glad we agree
On what?
on that as a whole, because some people don't always necessarily see it that way.
I got 42,000.
Like,
well, you didn't agree with me at first, but then when I explained my argument, as to why it may not necessarily be viewed as gay. It could just be them just exploring each other and just having a good time, and it's their business, and that's what they choose to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to go in that route. Now, if he goes around telling people that's what he does, they might view it as gay, but...
Yeah, you're subject to that type of criticism.
That's how Kayla.
If you put that type of business out there. But, you know.
But I also feel like, you know, you have the free will to do whatever you want to do. I mean, granted, some people take the whole sexual interaction to an extreme, you know what I mean? Like,
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
It goes from like some 50 Shades of Grey shit to some other shit that
Kayla's some love. Thank you guys for watching.
Sound like a goddamn fucking lawsuit.
Guys.
The type of things that I've heard people were into, I was like,
night everyone.
Yeah,
it's
like,
baffling.
It's just like, I'm like, where I was confused at was like, where's the pleasure in this?
Yeah.
Like, how are you having fun doing this? Because it was one of those things where it sounded like, you know how 50 Shades of Grey is kind of like bondage and like, you know, kind of like
certain dominance.
Like one's dominant and the other one's more submissive, and then they go from there. It went from like that to like, it just sounded like pain. And it's like, it's like, how do you even correlate the two? And then it kind of just sounds like a sick, twisted way to kind of make it fun for you, but maybe not necessarily for the other person. And for me, I feel like it's supposed to be pleasurable for both people, no matter what you choose to do in the bedroom. Mm-hmm. And I also believe that if you choose to let somebody do certain things with you in the bedroom, whether it sounds pleasurable or not, to me or anybody else, that's also your dumb decision because you allowed it to happen. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I also feel like, you know, I'm not talking bad about anybody who chooses to do certain things in the bedroom. I also feel like you should have some form of self-dignity, too, where you're like, nah, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
Like
you should have a cutoff.
Yeah, like there
just
should be...
allowing anybody to do whatever to you.
Yeah, there should be, like, a limit to it, too, as well. Like, you shouldn't just be like, oh, this person could do this just 'cause, and I'm gonna go with it, and then if I like it, cool. If I don't, because then that doesn't really say a lot about you as a person. Yeah. It just kind of says that you're, like, willing to just let people step all over you.
Yeah, don't be willing to just do whatever because you're infatuated with somebody. You know, you have to know your limits and your cutoffs, and like, it's okay to explore, but don't put yourself in
an unwanted situation, or don't put yourself in a situation and then complain about it later and talk badly about the person that wanted to do those things, but you also agreed to do it, so technically they're not wrong. They didn't put like a gun to your head saying, hey, yeah, this is what we gonna do.
It's what you signed up for.
Exactly.
And don't put yourself in a situation where you could really physically be hurt. Like, there's some fucked up people out there that explore, you know, people's sexuality and stuff, and you could end up getting physically hurt.
Oh, like that slave shit?
Yeah, like punching people. Like I told you that time I heard about people cutting each other while they're having sex. Like,
well, I mean, that's just what they choose to do.
That is
I mean, but that's different though. Like, that's just them just being weird. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff that people do that is just weird. Like, people get turned on by watching people pee. Like, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's just so many things that people do that you may or may not agree with that you're just like, what? Like, what did you get out of this?
No.
But I also feel like there's nothing wrong with a dominant submissive thing, but with that, you got to be very careful with that, because some people take that too far. Mm-hmm. With the dominant submissive thing, because like it goes from like, this could be fun, right, which a lot of people, when for example, when 50 Shades of Grey came out, a lot of people was like, oh, this could be fun. And then they go try it and they're like, nah, this ain't for me. So it could be fun, but it also depends on who you're doing it with. If you're doing it with someone who is just like violently aggressive, it could take away that whole fun of, if that's something you're into, it could take away the fun of just like being tied up or whatever the case is, or being smacked on the ass or whatever. You know what I mean? Like whatever you're into when it comes to stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and a lot of people don't put that into consideration. And then I also feel like, you know what I mean? Like, where's your pain threshold after a certain point? If you're getting smacked, like you're getting, I feel like if I'm getting smacked or I feel like I'm getting spanked, there's no pleasure in that at all. Like, I don't see where the enjoyment could be out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't see how you can have fun with that.
Yeah. Like, I'm getting a real ass whooping for something
like,
something I did. Like, this is supposed to be fun, bro. Chill out.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, some people...
ow.
Like, some people's excuses, because I've heard this a lot, oh, I have a heavy hand, and that's just how I hit. But then it's like, I feel like when you're dealing with a female, or just anybody in general that's into stuff like that, you also have to put into consideration that it's supposed to be pleasurable for them. So if you're just like hitting them the way you would hit somebody out on the street because you don't know how to regulate your power, then I don't think you should be considering doing anything that involves hitting in the bedroom at all.
Yeah.
Because you're going to hit them one day. And this is something that you have to like think about, which I don't think people who do stuff like that, who don't know how to regulate their strength when they're doing stuff like that, you're going to hit somebody one day and knock them out, possibly, because if you don't know how to regulate your strength between, oh, I'm doing something fun in the bedroom, to, oh, I'm about to, like, beat this person up, then you shouldn't be doing anything that involves hitting.
That's facts.
And those are the people that do it the most, so
yeah.
The ones that don't know how to regulate their strength, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't hit this hard. Like,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not the greatest with my output, but I also know how high not to go. You know what I mean? I'm not the best with my punch out. That's why I try not to fight. I don't understand my force exertion.
You try not to fight, or you try not to play fight?
Yeah, both. Because I don't fully understand my my force exertion. I was never formally taught how to regulate, punches and stuff. It was kind of go hard or not at all the way I grew up. So it's like, as I got older and I started experiencing things and learning what women liked and didn't like, I could regulate when I did shit like that, how hard I can do it. But now, I knew where not to go. You know what I mean?
True. But what's your back to what we were talking about? So what was your consensus on the whole, like, so do you still feel like just in general taking it up the butt is gay?
It's, I guess, it's a matter of perspective. No, not necessarily if you're doing it with your woman, but the best way I can put it is just that it's not for everyone. Like, it's not something I'm interested in. It's not something some of my friends are interested in. But there's guys, and I've from female friends that I have who said they had dudes that like that shit. So, and they go off and they those guys still sleep with women and all this other stuff. So I guess I can't say it's entirely gay. I guess maybe it's just, as long as they're not doing it with men, it's not really gay. But it's not for everyone, bottom line. Like, all straight guys aren't. Most straight guys aren't gonna be with that.
No. I mean, I feel like once you take it to the route of, like, sleeping with a dude or really anybody with a dick, that definitely means like, you know, you could do whatever you want, but like that definitely means you got to be into men because you just went onto a whole nother playing field.
Mm-hmm.
You went from doing something that people don't normally do with women to now you just ventured into, I know what a dick feels like in my butt. Like, you know what I mean?
It's just such a weird sentence. Such a wild sentence to say.
No, but you know what I mean, though? Like, you went from having, like, damn near, like, a dildo, right? Something that's not even a real dick.
And then you upgrade it to the real thing.
I mean, if you want to call that an upgrade.
I mean, sometimes it's not an upgrade. You know, these toys out here are wild. But we're working at Amazon. We done seen some shit. But
well, I mean, but you didn't really see stuff like that. Cause,
only in Damage Land.
Well, no, but like, when you worked that night, you really saw some shit. During the day, they didn't really see a lot of shit.
Yeah. Damage Land, though. It was like every bin had like 4 of them. It was wild. Wild times.
I never saw it in Damage Land. I saw it.
That's when I first saw them.
I usually saw like toys like that at Amazon was when it was mostly at night, like if you work the night shift, because I started the night shift before I started the day shift.
You know what I saw a lot at Amazon? I saw a lot of pocket pussies at Amazon. In pick when I was picking.
I mean, I've heard that they see it during the day, but like it was mostly like predominant at night. Like that's when I first saw like the glass dildo.
And the king cock. I'll never get over that. Seeing that
Yo,
shit at
the
Amazon.
glass I remember the glass dildo, right? It was shaped like a was it an eggplant? It was either shaped like an eggplant or a cucumber. And it was like a certain amount of inches. And I was like, that seems interesting. And then Leo was like, what happens if it breaks? I'm like, you would have to be going extra fucking
Word. God, just to imagine the pain.
No, but I felt like you would have to go extra hard on a glass dildo.
You'd have to have like legs as strong as like.
Yeah, but you're talking about a dildo that you're holding in your hand.
Yeah.
So like, what do you mean legs?
Hey, squeeze your legs while you're doing it. No.
What?
I don't know.
What are you? What? The fuck are you talking?
Moving on.
I'm talking about like the fact that we're talking about just like holding a dildo in your hand.
Whole grip.
In your hand, like what does your legs have to do with a dildo going inside you? What? What?
Moving on.
The fact that his mind went there is interesting because it's like, what did you think about how dildos go inside somebody and like what you do with your legs? Like the fuck?
I was talking about a woman, but okay. Anyway, moving on.
Putting you on blast.
Yeah. Next topic.
That was you. You the one that said it. Is it weird for a man to ask for a woman to kiss his toes? Or for you to kiss his toes or whatever?
To me, it's weird.
Yeah, I think that's a little weird. That's not a normal, everyday thing to ask. Like, I've heard people, like, ask females to do certain things because they just want to be able to say, like, they have control over, you know, her, to get her to do certain things. But at the end of the day, it's like, what are you getting out of it? Because usually when you ask someone to do something, when you're, like, alone with them, there's supposed to be something you get out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, especially if it's, like, a act that could lead to, like, sexual activity. I really don't understand what you would get out of a chick or, I guess, a dude kissing your toe.
And I hear the thing is, I hear women say they enjoy that a lot.
No. Mm-mm.
It wasn't something enjoyable for you?
I was, what? What do you mean enjoyable for me? Like, I go around doing that. Excuse me.
No, I'm talking about, like, not women enjoying doing the feet sucking. I'm talking about them getting it done.
Well, no, but I thought you were talking about doing it to other men, like doing it to men, because I've seen women enjoy themselves doing it to men. I don't know what they got out of it. I thought that's what you were talking.
Ass.
I thought that's what you were talking. I thought that's what you were talking about.
No, I meant like them having their.
Well, yeah, that's usually the normal thing that you hear, like a chick getting her toes sucked. It's usually to like arouse her, turn her on, to get her in the mood. That's what I've heard. You know what I mean? And then you got weird people like Psycho that, you know,
prefers to have his toes sucked.
No, not sucked. He wanted them kissed or whatever. Cause he was like forcing me to take his socks off for him or whatever. Like, and then I'm like, what? And it was like on some like weird like control shit, and I'm like, what are you getting out of this? Like, and his only argument was like, oh, it's not like I have ugly feet. What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
What is this doing for you? It's that sense of empowerment, though. I guess for a dude to do that.
I mean, I've heard dudes do things for empowerment, but there's certain things that they just wouldn't do because it just looks gay. Because that's not something, right? Let's look at it from his retarded perspective. I'm pretty sure that's not something that like he would want his homies to know that he ever like allowed a chick to do in general. Like, even if it was to be like, hey, I got control over her, I could do this, I could do that. That's not something you brag about because you look gay. You're gonna look gay to them at the end of the day. Like, they're gonna like laugh at you. They're gonna be like, what?
Like, fucking weirdo.
But then again, like, he also had the logic with like a chick giving a dude like a rim job, where he was saying like, oh, that could be an empowerment move. And I'm like, how? Because you're not gonna go to your homie and be like, yo, I got my girl to...
Yo, my girl licked my butt, dog. What?
No, but that's what he said. Like, that was his logic behind like some dudes that might do that. And I'm like, but that's not something that you would brag about, though. That's not something that you would go to your homie and be like...
I know some guys that would brag about it, but that's because they just don't give a fuck about other people's opinions. They be like, yup, she licked my cheeks. And keep it moving, like...
No, but I'm talking about, like, a regular dude that normally wouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
They magically muster up the courage to do something like that. And, you know, they do it, whatever the case is, whether it was, like... They were doing it to control her to see if she would do it, or they were doing it because they thought about it. It's like, how do you feel empowered by that?
Yeah.
And that's not something you could like brag about with like everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, where's the sense of empowerment?
I don't know. I don't understand it. Not something I'm into, so I guess I can't really give you an honest answer on it.
No, but I mean, but just the fact that he said that, I was like, what?
Kiss these toes. Excuse me?
Well, no, not even like kiss the toe thing, but like the whole like saying how, oh, not every dude would want his butt licked because he wants it licked. He might be trying to control her or have that power.
All right, more power to you, then, bro. Like, you know.
And then he also went into detail about it depends on how you get it done.
I don't even want to know.
He said like you know how like a chick could be on the bed with her ass up in the air or whatever, and like let's say that's something she's into doing, and a dude does it for her or whatever. Like, he was saying how that position would be more gay than, like, I guess if he was just laying flat on the bed and, like... And I'm like, what? But you're still doing the same act, so I'm confused.
Midges. I'm mentally scarred right now.
But why would you think that deeply about it, right? If you're a dude that like never did it, why would your mind? You get where I'm going with this?
No, I get what you mean.
Like, if it's not something you're into, why would you think that deeply about it? Like, why would your mind go there? See, I told you might secretly be gay. You don't know.
God.
You alright?
I could have lived without.
No, but like, imagine how I felt hearing that from a dude that you're like claiming you're straight, but you thought about this. You had to think about this for you to come up with this logic.
No bueno. No bueno.
Why? How do you feel about that?
It's sus. Very sus. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say.
Oh, we put all his deep dark secrets on mine.
Sorry. Yeah, we're not putting a name in the face, so.
I mean, we do call him Psycho, so.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Knowing his retarded ass, if he ever heard it, he'd be like, oh, they talking about me.
I can't. So is that it? Is that everything?
I guess so. On that, right? There's nothing else you want to add on that after I give you this scarring image?
I'm gonna need like 6 shots after this.
I mean, we all knew he was weird. So.
That's an understatement.
But we're just putting it out there for people to hear so people can laugh at him.
Yeah.
Okay, so is it possible to like something that you try to force someone to do? So pretty much it's like you like it, but the other person may not want to do it or like it. So is it the same enjoyment out of it if you're enjoying yourself, but the other person is miserable the whole way through?
And that can go with anything. Some people, for a normal, reasonable person who cares about the person we're with, and we're not talking about just sexually, it could be anything. Like, you could tell me you utterly despise going bowling, and I'm like, babe, we're going bowling. And now you're sitting there miserable, and I'm like, strike! Yeah! Like, I look like a bozo. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but there's dudes out there, just like I'm pretty sure there's chicks out there that have that mindset, like, oh, but if I'm having fun, it's fine.
Yeah, no. And that's selfish. So, while it's possible to do it, because you can do it, if the person at the end of the day goes, sure, why not, right? It's possible. Like, you know, it could be done. But it's selfish.
Yeah, but they might not view it as selfish. They may view it as, well, this is what I want to do, and it's either you want to do it or you could take a hike.
Yeah, and like that's the epitome of being selfish. Like,
no, but I'm just saying, like, from a person's standpoint,
it's my way or the highway.
Yeah, like from their standpoint,
and
that's
like,
how
selfish. What do you mean selfish? You just do what I say, and then that's it.
Yeah. I know about that all too well.
Yeah, no.
But yet I was called selfish.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. You are, like I said before, you're far from it. So.
No, but I was selfish.
Right. Of course, a selfish person is going to call other people selfish before they understand how selfish they really are. Just the way of the land.
Mm. Yeah, but you can't get mad at somebody for not wanting to do something, because everybody has things that they're into and everybody has things that they might compromise on. My thing is, if it's something that's compromisable, give that person the opportunity to decide if they feel comfortable with doing it, because it's not something they normally do. Mm-hmm. But if it's not even compromisable, they have their, mind made up on what they're going to do. Wait, is that your foot touching me?
Yes.
That's how my leg is getting all itchy. I thought it was like a bug on me. But if it's not like compromisable and you kind of throw it at them to go do it, not only, even if you're having fun with it, not only is that person going to be miserable, which, once again, this is something I dealt with. Like, you're going to be miserable with it. But for them, they're not going to see how miserable you are with it because they're having a good time. And you're just sitting there, like, wishing that the day was over because they're having fun. But you're like, I'm not having fun. Mm-hmm. So, and somebody like that who has that mindset, they're not going to see how you're not having fun with whatever they're trying to do. You're just going to be sitting there miserable and they're going to be like, yeah, I'm having a great time. And that could be with anything. That could be sex. That could be going out. That could be, you know, regular intimacy in a relationship. It could literally be anything. And if you're not having a good time, if the person is really that selfish, they're not even going to take the time to listen to what you have to say as to why you're not having a good time.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Is there anything else you want to add to this?
Don't be selfish. That's it.
Oh, don't be selfish.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. It's crazy. You have that smile. What you got in that notebook?
No, I was just looking at it. I was just making sure I was looking at the right thing, mm-hmm. the right topic that I wanted to talk about, and not talk about a topic that we're not even on or whatever. So the next topic is, if you're with someone, does their debt become your debt?
No. But if they choose to help, or if I choose to help, you know what I mean?
I don't think it becomes necessarily their debt. Even if you get married to the person, I don't think it becomes their debt per se. But usually, right, if you're trying to be with somebody and you're taking them seriously, or you claim that you're taking them seriously, usually if you know they're going through it that badly, you should, even if they take it or not, right? Sometimes just offering is a lot better to hear from someone who's struggling, whether they're going to take it or not, than not offering at all. Because I don't think that if you're with someone and you're serious enough about them, I don't think they should have to, like, especially if you know they're going through something, I don't think you should necessarily have to ask them for help if they know you're that bad off with whatever the situation is.
Yeah.
Especially if they know about it. Even if they can't necessarily help you to the full extent, just the fact that they wanted to, they should be willing to want to offer that. And most of the time, most people, they don't want to offer that to the person. And then if they go off to somebody else and get help somewhere else, it's a problem. And it's like, I don't think it should be that way. Mm-hmm. Because you weren't offering the help and you weren't doing anything. So it's like, I got to get the help somewhere if it's really that bad off. Because, you know, I know from personal experience where I was going through some things and I had people offer me help where things were like really, really bad. And I took the help because I'm not going to beg and plead for somebody to help me. And I'm not going to, like, expect you to help me if you feel like you're not obligated to have to help me. So I'm going to get that help somewhere else. My argument has always been, what you won't do, somebody else will. So I don't have the time nor the patience to try to beg somebody to be what they should try to be. Because I feel like you should try to be as helpful to the person as you possibly can, especially if you're in that, like, dating phase where you're claiming you want to, like, be with them for the long haul. If you're not really helpful to them when they're dating you, what use do I have to marry you? I can be by myself. And a lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah. And we're not saying right away, off rip, when you get into a relationship with someone, be like, yo, let me pay all your bills. But
we're talking about, like, if you're in a bad situation.
Yeah.
Not, like, pay your bills.
So, like, you know, if I know that my girl she's stressed. She doesn't know how she's gonna pay this, and she doesn't know how she's gonna pay that. She doesn't know how she's gonna pay this. I usually go, well, hey, let me get to my next paycheck, relax, let me see what I can swing, and I'll help you in any way I can, because that's what a partnership is. And she does the same for me. You know, if I'm like, yo, I need to get something but I can't get it, she's like, yo, I'll get it for you. You know what I mean? Like it's you know, part of being in a relationship is finding that finance. It like people don't think it's the financial security within your partner is important, but it is, because if I can't rely on you, like you said, if I can't rely on you now, not saying I need you to pay my bills, not saying you need me to pay yours, but if right now, right, you're not willing to help, even if I say no, you know, I got it, like I'll figure it out. If I know that you're not at least willing to help, I'm not gonna be able to feel like I can count on you 10 years down the line when we're looking to buy a house. You know, when, you know, our kids need stuff for school, or you know, things of that nature, because it's the stuff you got to think about. It's all stuff you got to think about. Dating someone, boyfriend and girlfriend, that's all your precursor to the end game, getting married and starting a family and all that stuff. So
no, if you don't ask, how do I know to do it?
but like that, you have to know when to ask.
Yeah, but like
sometimes you shouldn't have to.
No, but that logic only works if you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, and a lot of times people don't ask because they genuinely don't want to burden someone with that help, with the task of asking. So, you know, like me, I don't ask. You know what I mean? More times than not, I'm like, nah, don't do it. And she doesn't anyway. But
wait, what do I do that I do it anyway?
I mean, you convince me, but you know, it's
I feel like if you know how bad off your partner is, and you know how bad the situation is,
and it's someone you love, and you know you want to be with them long term. I'm not saying you're with someone, you're kind of dating them just for fun, you know, and you should go and save them when they're in a pickle. I'm talking about,
you know, that you want to have a future with them, or you could see a future with them. I feel like if you know they're in a bad situation, you should be at least, like, at the very least, you should be willing to want to help them. Yeah. Now, like I said before, if they don't want to take that help, that's a completely different situation.
Or if you don't have the means to help.
Yeah, but, like, I've seen people who don't have the means to help somebody, but they at least offer, and they're like, if I can do something, I'll let you know. And even that's enough. Mm-hmm. And you have those people who can know you're in a bad situation, won't help, but like I was saying before, get mad if you get help somewhere else because they're like, oh, you're with me, you can't get help from another man. But it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, you weren't making it
obvious that I could come to you and feel safe and comfortable coming to you when I had a problem. And
part of being you know, a man to a woman is sometimes taking initiative. You know, she's never once asked me for help. Never once has she asked me for help. Well, like minor, small, minuscule things, but like as far as like bill paying, she's never asked me for help. I take it upon myself when I hear her stressed, and she's like, I'm going through it. Like, I can't even focus on the things that I want to focus on because I don't know how I'm going to get this done. I take it upon myself because I love her. You know what I mean? And I don't want her to go through that stress. I also want her to understand that when it's time to buy that house, you know what I mean? I'm going to be there. You know what I mean? When we got to fix the pipes in the house, don't worry, babe. I'll take care of it. You know what I mean? Like, those are the things I want to show her. So why not do it now? I know I want to, you know, down the line, get married, have kids, you know, buy a house, you know, get a dog, white picket fence, all that bullshit. You know, like, so why not take the initiative, set the initiative, and let her know that I can be someone she can rely on.
And then also, what I want to add to that is make sure that you're making your partner feel comfortable enough where they can feel like they can come to you, and don't make them feel like if they do come to you, it's going to be something that they're going to throw in your face later. Because that's a big thing, too. Because, like, if they feel like you're going to throw it in their face later because they were in a bad situation and you chose to help them, for whatever reason, whether it's because you know you love them and you want to marry them down the line, whatever the case is, if they feel like you're going to throw it in their face later, more often than not, they're probably never going to come to you, and they could be in the worst situation ever. They could be losing their apartment. They could be losing their car. They could literally be losing everything, and you'll be the last person to know.
Yep. It's all about being open and willing to be there for the person.
Yeah, and just
letting them know that I'm here for you, and I'm gonna help you the best way that I can.
What? Why are you looking at me like that?
'Cause you moving like I'm some kind of insect or something. I can't.
Oh no, but you're gonna touch my leg, and then it's gonna get itchy. And
you
then
don't like when I touch your leg? It's messed up, yo.
I'm just saying.
She's looking down and everything too, like my foot nowhere near yours.
No, I'm talking about my leg. Like your foot was like rubbing on my leg, so I felt like there was a bug on me.
It's because I love you.
No. So, is there anything else you want to add to this topic, or?
Nah.
Yeah, I think we pretty much made our point across, and like I said before, don't make that person feel like they can't come to you, and you. Also, if you're that person that's making them feel uncomfortable when it comes to them going to you with problems, don't be mad if they don't go to you or if they get help from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because you kind of put them in that situation. So the next topic is, does it count as a date if they pay you back?
Well, I guess
in a technical standpoint, it does, because when you were out, if you didn't pay, you would have been doing the dishes to get out of that place.
Yeah, so
technically, it was a date in the moment of whoever paid. Now, if you choose to pay them back, or they, hear me out, the person offers to pay you back and you take the money because they want to pay you back, that's on them. I feel like you chose to decide to pay me back, so
yeah,
I'm
but
not
at the end of the day, I still that night paid for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but a lot of people will throw in the person's face, but I paid you back and you took the money. You offered me the money the day or two after, or whatever the case was, after we went out to go out on this date to decide to pay me back. I'm not going to necessarily say no to you paying me back, per se.
Yeah.
Just like I'm pretty sure if a chick offered to a dude, like, oh, hey, like, let me pay you back for taking me out to wherever, most dudes, which I think that's a little weird, but most dudes would probably not say no to if a chick chose to pay them back. They'd be like, all right, whatever.
Mm.
They might actually take it.
Yeah, and that's dumb. Like, if I take, like, even if it's just one of my friends, like when I was out in San Antonio with Steph, and we stopped at the Denny's after we went and checked in and got our tickets for the event. We got our passes for the event. There was a Denny's right up the street, so we were like, yo, let's go get lunch. Right? We hungry. We ain't eat all day. It's a 3-hour drive. Let's get something to eat. We go in there, and I straight up pushed her out the way, like, because she had bought, our breakfast when I landed. So, I pushed her 5-foot self out the way, and I was like, nah, I got this. You don't got to pay me back. I never once have I ever been on a date, whether it was with, my girlfriend or when I was single and I went out on a date with somebody ever, they were like, yo, I'll pay you back. Nah, like if I ever,
when did I offer to pay you back?
well, no, but I'm just saying, even in situations where my friends like are like, yo, I don't got no money, I can't really go out. If I tell you that I got you, I'm not asking for any money back. Even if you offer it, I'm like, nah, you're good. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not doing this because I know you're gonna pay me back. I'm doing this because I want to enjoy our time together. You know what I mean? Like this, it's not about the money at the end of the day. It's about the time that you spend with these people. So it's.
I mean, but do you feel like the person that pays you back, should they like throw it in your face later that they paid you back from the time that you went out because they chose to pay you back and you chose to take the money?
No. But that also begins the like, what the hell, like, you know what I mean? Like, what kind of conversation are we really having where you're throwing it in my face? Like, why? Because you said I don't take you out or whatever, you know what I mean? Or I don't ever do nothing for you, but I do, right? And I'll probably be like, yo, I just paid for your dinner last week. Yeah, but I paid you back. Bro, that's not the point. The point is I looked out for you when you didn't have it. Yeah, you paid me back, but when the going gets tough, I'm there for you. I got you, whether you pay me back or not.
I mean, I guess it all depends on how you look at it.
Yeah, and some people are just like, well, I paid you back, so I don't owe you nothing. Yeah, no, you don't owe me, but you didn't owe me before, really. If I offered to cover it for you, you know what I mean? If I'm offering to cover for you.
It was one of those things where I wanted to go to the place I wanted to go to, and I was like, that sucks for you that you broke, but I got the money, I want to go. We just gonna go. That's kind of what it was. You choose to pay me back. Hey, cool for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's that money back in my pocket. But don't feel the type of way because I'm sorry, I just had to get that yawn out. Don't feel some type of way now because you don't feel like I do anything for you just because you paid me back for that. So dumb. But I give you this and I give you that and I do this for you. I do that for you when you don't deserve those type of things. Like some people, though, it be the most undeserving people who get everything, right? And then they fuck it up for the people who come after them. And then in that time that they're with these people, they're constantly shitting on them because of one thing or another. Oh, you don't give me gifts, or you don't give good gifts, or you don't do anything for me, or you don't cook for me, or you don't do this for me, or you don't do that for me. And then they're like, oh, but I always do stuff for you. I always buy stuff for you. I always do. And it's like, bro, but like you don't see. You know what I mean? I've given up so much time for some friends, you know, for people I'm no longer friends with, because the one time I chose to look out for me, I'm this terrible human being, and I've had to, cut them off. I had, my ex from way back in the day. I used to go above and beyond for her. You know what I mean? And she was always unhappy because I was working all the time to get her all these nice things and do all these nice things for her. And I gave her all my free time, and she was like not happy because I didn't want to go into the city. I work at the fucking city. I don't know. No, I don't want to go back in the city. You know what I mean? Like, it was shit like that, and it's
almost equivalent to complaining about a birthday party.
Yeah, like
yeah, you know how horrible that was for me. Like the stuff that I did do, whether I got paid back for it or if it was stuff that I did because I chose to do it, knowing going into it, knowing that, not expecting to get paid back for it because I chose to do it. To hear someone complain because their best friend got a birthday party, might I add, didn't spend her money, it was her husband's money, right? Because it was a joint bank account. gets thrown in my face because I didn't do that. I did what I was able to afford to do at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's frustrating.
And I'm like, it does, since they were big on, oh, a birthday party doesn't cost that much. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't cost that much when you're not really spending your money because the wife wasn't working at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So all the money that was going in that bank account was her husband's money. So it's not the same when you're spending someone else's money to do something like that. And technically, it's not even really a surprise birthday party when you think about it because he's going to see that money missing when he brings in the money from his paycheck anyway. Whereas me, I was like, it's not the most expensive thing in the world to do a birthday party, but you know what I mean? It's not like
it's cheap either.
Yeah, that was my argument. I'm like, it's not like it's like a $5 thing. You have to figure out
gifts. You
want gifts. That. There's gonna need to be food. I need to figure out a way to get in contact with somebody to be able to invite certain friends that you may or may not want there, or whatever the case is. You know what I mean? Like shit like that, and then get it all put together. Have the time to make the place look decent enough for a party. And that's all time and money at the end of the day. Like, it's not free. So, I was confused behind the logic, and I was confused as you're a grown-ass man. Why are you crying over the fact that your best friend got something that his wife technically didn't even pay for, if you want to get technical with it? Because he was big on technicalities. Like, oh, well, I paid for this, or, oh, I paid you back for this, or whatever the case was. And it's like, how do you even count that as a surprise birthday party if she's not even spending her money?
Yeah, no, it's annoying. It's frustrating when the things you do go unappreciated, and instead you get complaints about what you don't do. And that just goes to show how like it's like that with a lot of things though, like with work, with school, with anything, like. You put in, you constantly do things good, you do things good. And then the second somebody doesn't see something they like, they never praise you when you're doing good. They praise you when...
Well, it's not really praise, but...
Yeah, they don't praise you when you're doing good. They shit on you when you do bad, though. And it sucks. Even like in video games, in sports, and just all writing, like whatever, you could write 1,000,000 fucking books and all of them be fantastic, and then you write one bad book and now all of a sudden you're like the worst author that ever stepped on the face of the planet in the eyes of the media. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's tough. Appreciate what people do for you.
No, the sad part is they don't appreciate it until they don't get it anymore.
And then they miss it, and they were like, "Yo, I'm sorry, I didn't know what I was doing. Fuck out of here."
Fuck out of here. You had somebody with, oh, you give whack ass gifts. You ain't getting no fucking gifts.
Yeah, facts. And now they're like, oh, why don't you give me gifts no more? Bitch, you told me I give bad gifts, so fuck off. So.
Nah, that's old news.
That's old news. Facts.
We in the present.
Facts.
Fucking idiot. Alright, so I guess we're on trivia. Focus.
I'm getting it out.
No, you was looking at something else on your phone.
Okay, so the theme for today's trivia is actors.
Okay.
Are you ready? You think you know anything about actors?
I mean, I guess it depends on the actor.
Alright, so as always, write your answers in the comment section. Don't cheat. I'm watching y'all like a hawk.
Alright.
What's the most money ever made by an actor in a movie?
Most money?
Yeah.
What, like by the actor itself or the movie in general?
By the actor.
I don't know, what, 10 million?
No. Higher.
I don't know, like 50 million,
Lower.
30 million.
There we go. Can you guess who?
No.
Keanu Reeves in The Matrix. They paid that man $30 million. What was the most awards, Oscars, really, won by an actor?
What, the number of awards?
Yeah.
I don't know. 100?
I thought it was gonna be something absurd like that. Nah, it's not.
50?
Nah, not even close.
Wait, you said you thought it was something absurd, or is it a lower number?
It's a lower number. Like when I first
20?
No, 4.
10? Oh.
4 Academy Awards, and it was by Katharine Hepburn. Way back in the day.
Wait, and that's the most?
Yeah, with 12 nominations. That's crazy, right? Like, you would have thought that somebody would have gotten more. So, what were the most, basically, roles? Who the most roles an actor has played? Not in a single movie, but over the course of their career. What would you think that number is?
I don't know, 50 to 100?
No.
Lower, higher?
Higher.
I don't know, over 1,000?
Not that high.
I don't know, 500?
No, you're getting warmer, but no, it was
200?
You got real close there.
Okay.
It was Christopher Lee. He's played in over 280 roles.
Okay.
Yeah. It's interesting. The oldest living actor. I didn't even know this. This was the one I was telling you that I thought I knew.
I don't know.
I originally thought it was Betty White. Because
I don't think she's considered though. I mean, she's up there, but I don't think she was.
Betty White's the 3rd oldest living actor.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, this guy, his name's Norman Lloyd. He was born in 1914, which would make him 106.
Is he still even doing anything acting wise?
Probably not anymore. He's probably been retired for a couple of years. But he's the oldest living actor. And then finally, who's the most popular actor currently?
Right now?
I'll give you a hint. He's a Marvel actor. I know you know it.
Oh. What, like the character he plays?
No, it's just the actor. One of the smartest.
Man?
Yeah, there you go, Robert Downey Jr. Hey, we got one.
I wasn't completely wrong on the other one. I was a lot closer than I thought I'd be when I didn't even know the answer at all.
Yeah, that Norman Lloyd one. I
don't even know who that is.
I don't know who it is either. But 1914, he's doing really good for himself.
Yeah, but I don't think he's acting in any movies.
No.
Not right now.
I mean, Betty White's not really doing anything either, but you know, them people, I feel like probably could live.
I was
forever.
gonna say Spider-Man at first, but they've changed Spider-Man so many times that you can't really say it's Spider-Man.
I was gonna say I thought it would be
because I was debating between when you said, I was like thinking of the characters, and I was like, it could be this person, but I don't think it is.
Yeah, I looked up a bunch of polls and they all more or less had Robert Downey. It was like Robert Downey Jr., The Rock, Kevin Hart.
I wasn't even really, I thought about him, but then I was like, I mean, I guess.
But I guess that does it. So you wanna do the send off?
Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. And I guess we'll see you next time.
Bye.